Hello guys, I am Praise from DevCon and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to create a profile card using HTML and CSS. So let's get started. As you can see here, I already have a demo of what our profile card will look like at the end of the video. Our profile card is going to have this hover effect that pops up whenever we hover on the card, and our social icons are also going to have the same hover effect, but it's going to be a little bit different since the colors will change to red, and our buttons will also have the same effect, but there will be no pop-up. I hope this will help broaden your knowledge on HTML and CSS. So let's get started. Firstly, in our HTML, you can see I already have my CDN link for font awesome icons. You can use any icons of your choice, and don't forget to create your link for CSS, styles.css. Firstly, I'm going to create my div. The first div is going to have a class, and it's going to be profile card. And in here, we're going to have our profile image. Create a div, and the class is going to be profile image. Change this to img, which is an abbreviation for image. Then next, we're going to have our image right in here. The source is going to be images, then user.image.avif. That's our image format. Then next, under here, we are going to have our profile info just after the profile card. Create another div, and the class, this is supposed to be inside our profile card. Paste it right in here. The class here is going to be profile info. Here we're going to have info. Inside here, we're going to have another div, and the class name is going to be name container. And here we're going to have a h2 tag, and it's going to be devcore for the name. That is my channel's name. Then next, we're going to have a paragraph tag, and here we're going to have front end developer. Then next, we're going to create our social icons. Just down here, we're going to create another div, and this time around the class is going to be social icons. Then down here, we're going to have our anchor tag, and the first class here is going to be icon, and in here we're going to have our icon. This is first icon is going to be YouTube, just as we have here. Here we're going to have FAB, then FA dash YouTube. Let's see if that works. You can see our YouTube icon just down here. Then next, we're going to create the remaining icons. Copy and paste this 3 more times. The second one is going to be Twitter. Let's set it to Twitter. And the next one is going to be LinkedIn. The last one here is going to be Instagram. Let's see if that works. This is perfectly what we want, but our Instagram is going to be FA-square, not just FA-Instagram. Let's set that to square. Let's see what it looks like. Perfect. Then next, we're going to create our button container just after the social icons. This is our social icon container. Just down here, we're going to create our button container. Create a div, and the class is going to be button container. We're going to have 2 buttons inside here. This is the first one and the second one. The text in the first one is going to be subscribe, and the text in the second one is going to be message. Next, we're going to create our likes, comments, and share container just after our button container right here. Let's see what we have there. Yes, we have our likes, comments, and share. That is what we're going to create next. Just down here, create another div, and in this div, the class is going to be likes, comments, and share. Then in here, we're going to have our span tag. This is the first one. Then we're going to have an icon. The first icon is going to be FAS, which is FA solid. Then we're going to have FA dash heart. That's our heart icon. Then down here we're going to have our p tag and the number of comments. This is going to be 90.4k, and we're going to have on that p tag which will have this straight line. I'm going to copy and paste this 2 more times and remove the straight line for this one. Here the icon here is going to be share. Change this to share, and here we're going to have 6k. Change this to 6k, and here we're going to have 13k. Here the icon is going to be comment. Let's see what we have in the HTML. This is exactly what we want. Perfect. That's it for the HTML. Let's head over to CSS and add some styles to our code. Firstly, we're going to type in an asterisk. Then next, we're going to change margin to 0 and padding is going to be 0 also. Next, we're going to create our body class, and we're going to have display flex and justify content center. Then next, we're going to have align items center, and next we're going to have our height, and it's going to be 100 VH. Then next we're going to have font family, and it's going to be sans serif. And next we're going to have our background. We're going to use a linear gradient. It's going to be 135 degrees. And next we're going to set our colors. The first one is going to be #6F00FF. That is our purple color, and the next one is going to be our blue color. It's going to be #00D4FF. That is our blue color. Then next we're going to set all colors to white. That is it for our body class. Next we're going to set our profile card, the container for all elements in HTML. Firstly, we're going to set the background to gray. It's going to be RGBA. Then in here we're going to have 255, 255, and 255. Then 0.1. Next we're going to have a border radius for our card. Border radius here is going to be 15 px, and padding is going to be 2 rem. Then next we're going to have a width. Our width here is going to be 300 px, and next we're going to have text align, which will be center. Then next we're going to have a box shadow, and our box shadow is going to be 0, 10 px, 30 px. Then we're going to set color for our box shadow. It's going to be RGBA. Then we're going to have 0, 0, 0, then 0.3. That is a gray color. Next we're going to add a backdrop filter to add a blur to our profile card. Here we're going to have backdrop filter, then we're going to add a blur. It's going to be 10 px. Here our blur is going to be 10 px. Then next we're going to add a position relative. There is a mistake up here. This is it. We're going to have a position relative, and next we're going to have overflow. It's going to be hidden. The next we're going to add border. Our border here is going to be 2px solid, the same color we have here. Just grab this and paste it in for our border color. Then here we are going to change this to 0.2. Lastly, we're going to have a transition, and it's going to have 2 features. The first one is going to be transform, and the second one is going to be box shadow. Here we're going to have transform, and next we're going to set a timer. 0.3 seconds is. Then next we're going to have our box shadow, and it's going to also have a timer. 0.3 seconds is. Then next we're going to add our hover effect for the profile card to make it pop up and change colors whenever we hover on it. We're going to have a transform and translate y. Here we're going to have -10 px. This is what makes it shift to the top whenever we hover on the card. Then next we're going to add a linear gradient. It's just the same color with what we have right here, but we're going to switch things up. Copy and paste this right here. Grab this first one, copy this first one, paste it at the front, and add a comma right next to it, then delete this first comma we have there. Let's see what we have. This is exactly what we want, as you can see. We're not yet done. Let's add more CSS to our code to make it look more like what we have in the demo. Then next, we're going to style our profile image container. Down here, we're going to create a profile image container. This is the container that holds our image. The width here is going to be 100 px and the height is also going to be 100 px. Then next, we're going to style our margin. We're going to add a margin. It's going to be 0 and auto. Then next, we're going to add a border radius, and our border radius here is going to be 50%. We're also going to have an overflow. It's going to be hidden. And next, we're going to have object fit. We don't need an object fit for the profile image container. Here, what we need is another border. It's going to be 4px solid and white, 4px solid and white. The next, we're going to add a box shadow to our image container. Here, our box shadow is going to be 0020 px and the same color with what we have here for our box shadow. Paste this in and we have to change this to 0.5. The next, we're going to style our image itself. Type in profile image and target the image directly. The width here is going to be 100% and the height is going to be auto. Then object fit is going to be cover. Let's see what we have. This is coming along nicely. It's beginning to look more like what we have in the demo. Let's add more CSS to our code. Next, we're going to style our name container. Name container. Here we're going to have display, flex, and flex direction column. Then next, we're going to have a gap, and our gap is going to be 5px. The next, we're going to have align items. It's also going to be center, and margin top is going to be 1 rem. Let's see what that looks like. This looks perfect. We just finished styling the image and the username and the job. Next, we're going to style our h2, which is this heading name right here. Just type in those profile info, and then type in h2 to target the name directly. Here we're going to have font size, and our font size here is going to be 1.5 rem. Let's see what that looks like. It looks good. It looks just like the name we have in the demo. Let's see exactly. Then next, we're going to style the user job. Type in profile info again, target the p tag directly, add a font size, and the font size here is going to be 1 rem, and padding is going to be 0. The next, our color is also going to be the same color we have right here. Type in our color and then paste that in. You have to change that to 0.7. Then next, we're going to style our social icons. This social icons class is for the container that holds our social icons, the 4 social icons. Here we're going to have display, flex, and justify content center. The next, we're going to have a gap, and it's going to be 1 rem, and our margin top is going to be 1 rem. Let's see what that looks like. This is it for our social icons. It's just what we want. Then next, we're going to style our icons. Let's see if the class is available in HTML. It's not available. We need to have the class right here for our icons. Let's see. Okay, the class is available. Let's go ahead and style it. For our icons, we're going to have display flex right here. We're going to have display flex and align items center. Then next, we're going to have justify content. It's also going to be center, and text decoration is going to be none. Then next, we're going to have color. Our color here is going to be white, and we're going to have font size. It's going to be 1.2 rem. The next, we're going to have a transition, and our transition here is going to be color, and it's also going to have a timer, 0.3 seconds ease, and we're going to add transform. This is the effect that makes our icons pop up whenever we hover on them. Transform here is going to be 0.3 seconds and ease. Next, we're going to add our background. It's the same with what we have right here. Let's copy this background and paste it in for our icons, our icon background. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, there is a problem. I wrote icons here instead of icon. Just delete that. It's supposed to be icon, not icons. This is good. This is just what we want. Then next, we're going to add the padding to our icon. Padding is going to be 7 px. And next, we're going to add a height. Height here is going to be 25 px, and width is going to be 25 px. The next, we're going to add the border radius, and it's going to be 100%. Let's see what it looks like now. Perfect. As you can see, it looks like just what we have in the demo. Next, we're going to add our hover effect for the card. Type in icon and add hover. Here we're going to have transform scale to make it pop up whenever we hover on the icons. Transform then scale. Here we're going to have 1.2. Then next we're going to have background. Here the background is going to be hash 9500 9500 ff. Then here we're going to have hash ff0051. Let's see what that looks like. It doesn't change yet because we don't have the linear gradient class. Cut this out and type in linear gradient. Here we're going to have to write, then we're going to paste our colors in. That should work. This is it. That's what we want, just like in the demo. Next, we're going to style our button container, the container that holds every button, the 2 buttons we have in the demo. Set it to display flex and align items center. Next, we're going to have justify content. It's also going to be center, and gap is going to be 15 px. Next, we're going to have margin top, and our margin top here is going to be 1 rem. Then next, we're going to have our buttons. We're going to style the buttons. Type in button container and target the buttons directly. The buttons is going to have a padding, and the padding here is going to be 10 px. And next, we're going to have our width for the buttons. The width is going to be 120 px, and the background is also going to be linear gradient, just what we have here. You can copy this and also paste it in again. Not what we have here. This is going to be for our buttons hover. Let's create the hover. Type in buttons container, target the buttons directly and add the hover. Here we're going to have the background to change whenever we hover on the buttons, but the background for our button is going to be a little bit different. It's also going to be linear gradient but with different colors. Here we're going to have to write, and the first color here is going to be hash 6f00ff. This, and next we're going to have our second color here is going to be hash 1100ff. Let's see what that looks like. This is it. This is just what we want, but we need to add more styles to our button. Then next in our button, we're going to have color. It's going to be white, and next we're going to have border none to remove every border from our button. Next we're going to add the font size. It's going to be 14 px, and font bold. Our font weight is going to be bold. And next we're going to have a border radius for our card. It's going to be 30 px, and cursor for our card is going to be pointer. Then next we're going to add the transition. This is the hover effects for our card to make it change color whenever we hover on our card. Here we're going to have color. It's going to be 0.3 seconds is, and next we're going to have transform and 0. We don't actually need the transform. Let's just delete that. Let's see what our button looks like. As you can see, this is just what we want. It's just what we have in the demo. Next, we're going to style our icons, our share, like, and subscribe icons, which is the last section. Down here, we're going to add our like, comment, and share class. Like, comments, and share. Let's see if the class is available in HTML. Just down here, this is it. We have the class right there. This should be likes, not like, and this should be shares. Let's see if that is what it looks like. Let's just copy this and paste it right there. Paste this right here to make sure it is correct. The next we're going to have a display flex, and we're going to have align items. It's going to be center, and we're going to have a gap. Our gap here is going to be 10 px, and justify content is going to be center. Next we're going to have a margin top, and it's going to be 1 rem. And next we're going to add our hover effects. Okay, we don't need any hover effect for the icons. What we need is to style them directly at display flex and align item center to make it look more like what we have in the demo. We're going to do that by targeting it directly. Here we're going to type in span, and in the span we're going to have display flex, and we're going to have align items center. Next we're going to have a gap, and it's going to be 5 px. Let's see what that looks like. This looks perfect. As you can see, it now looks exactly like what we have in the demo. And if you really enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.